Yeah, it sounds great.
Great,
that
man.
sounds great.
I haven't had it out on the road yet because it's got such a big price tag on it.
Yeah, you want to be careful with it, yeah.
Yeah, but no, and this is the way it fires up all the time. I let it sit for a couple of days.
Yeah.
A couple of pumps, boom, right?
It went right away, right away. Here we go. This is Cars, Shops, and Collections, and we are in for an absolute treat today. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, there's a button down below you can subscribe to the show. So today, right around the corner, we got a 1970 Plymouth Cuda Hemi Convertible. One of 14. One of 14. And here's the deal. Our friends at Nevada Classics, they just bought it from Mecum Auctions a couple weeks ago. $2.1 million. This is a $2.1 million car. Plus, they got a 1970 Plymouth Superbird waiting for us as well. So why don't we get in my non-$2.1 million Dodge Challenger. It's still a wicked cool car, but it's not worth $2.1 million. Why don't we get in my car and go, shall we? The door is open, I see him inside. This is cool. Normally the garage door is closed here, but we got it open here. Nevada Classics. We can spend days inside this place, but I see Brian down there. What's up, Brian? I see our 1970 Superbird up on the rack. And here it is, 1970 Plymouth Cuda Hemi Convertible, one of 14. Holy cow. Wow, man. Brian, again, thanks for having us. How many days have the cars been here?
This car's been here about a week.
A week?
Yeah, we just got this car and this one also in.
Okay, let's start with the Cuda. 1970 Plymouth Cuda Convertible with a Hemi. This is one of 14.
One of 14 that were built and one of 9 with an automatic in it.
So we go one of 14, one of 9 automatic, and I did some research. Maybe you got the same thing. Canadian car, correct?
Canadian car, there's only 3 that were sent to Canada. They know of 1 has been destroyed. There's only 2 of the Canadian cars left.
That's nuts. So out of the 3 that were sent to Canada, 1 doesn't even exist anymore. It is gone. And the lemon twist color.
Correct.
Oh my gosh.
So this is optioned like the way it is and everything. It's a one-on-one car. There's not another one around.
Because the interior too, if we see it, can I open it up?
Oh yeah.
I'm always cautious when you're opening up a multi-million-dollar car. The interior is the saddle tan interior.
Correct. And like I said, this car's probably nicer than it came out of the factory. When it's restored like this, it's like a hand-built car. You know, I mean, they've done everything on this car, taken it apart, every nut and bolt. So this car is perfect in every way.
And this was restored up in Canada?
From my understanding, yes. I forget the guy's name. I have it somewhere, but yeah. A well-known Canadian restorer.
Now, when you guys go, you guys got this down in Mecum, down in Florida. Were you guys down there, or was this an online deal?
This one we had a buyer there for. John knew somebody that was there and
John
contacted
Grant, the
him.
owner of Nevada Classics here, yeah.
And he contacted him there, and he had him look it over for us.
This was one of these cars. I mean, you go to Mecum Auctions, it's kind of like...
Yeah, normally we don't buy cars like this without seeing them.
Really? Well, they have Gucci Row there. They're kind of like the most buzzworthy cars, and this was one of the top 5 buzzworthy cars.
Yeah, this was on all their posters. This was one of the big draws for the auction.
Come around front, we have the road lights down here, which are really cool. The hood pins. The color, I think the color is so unique.
Oh, it pops, and out in the sun, it's like the sun. It just glows. It's unbelievably nice.
The painted wheels is really cool.
Yeah, something you don't see anymore, but I used to love the steel wheels with the dog dish hubcaps. I just think it gives a real look.
But I'm sorry, I'm just getting so excited at the fact that this is one of 14.
Correct.
It's
Ever
so
built.
rare to find this car.
And we don't know how many are still around, but very few.
I know and you go to 1971, there's an even smaller amount of the convertibles that were made. I think there were 7. And there is one of those in here in Las Vegas. There's a black one that's here in town. So I know that's here in Vegas. With the Hemi, you'll normally see that the hockey stick striping on the side. We don't have that here. But this down here, this molding is so unique to the Barracuda. It's supposed to be like fins.
Yeah, I assume so, yeah. Gives it that real cool look.
Yeah, it really does.
And plus, it's just functional also. Keeps from getting road chipped up and just keeps the good look to the car.
Top,
all brand, everything on the car is brand new.
the top's brand new top?
Yeah.
Is it a power top?
No, these are not power top.
Not power tops?
I can put it down, but this is a manual top.
Come around the back here at the rear end. So the cost is out there, what you guys paid for it.
Sure.
$2.1 million.
Yeah, you know, it's an investment. It's better than the stock market on these kind of cars. This car's going to continue to go up because there's just less and less of these cars around to collect, and more people are trying to collect them.
They're not making them anymore.
They're not making them anymore, and more people are getting into collector cars. So this car's value will continue to rise.
The Hemi engine was, I think, an $800 option back in 1970, which is a good chunk of change back in 1970.
Back in 70 it was.
And then you add, and you guys have the hardtop here, right, the green one there.
Correct. That's also a Hemi Cuda.
And we did an episode on that one, broke that one down. So there's about 650, I think, Hemi hardtops made. So you guys have quite the collection here.
Correct.
Can we kind of get inside this?
Sure, go ahead.
Gene, why don't you come here and we'll pop open the other side. And also, too, can we see under the hood? I'll let you do all that stuff.
Sure, go ahead. Take a look.
We mentioned the 3 Canadian cars, the one that doesn't even exist anymore. The 2 are the Lemon Twist. This is the only one that has that saddle tan interior. Slap shifter on this. The wood grain center console. Coveted bucket seats. The only thing, though, doing my research, unless they got it wrong, manual steering, it's not power steering?
Correct, manual steering. Whew. Yep. Yeah, I drove this car earlier, and yeah, it's manual steering.
You feel it, right?
100%. We get spoiled on the new cars.
Power brakes, though. And this right here is your air grabber. Pop that open. All right, let's look underneath this thing. Rare, 1 of 14 with the Hemi.
Correct.
But as far as you're driving this thing, you're opening this thing up, it's a convertible. Is it, I mean, the whole body itself just not twisting?
No, this thing, it's solid.
It's rock solid?
Yeah. Runs really, really good.
Tell us what we got.
426 Hemi, again, it's the same motor that's in most of these other cars that we have here, except this thing's been gone through top to bottom, nut to bolt. Car's been completely taken apart. Everything on it is like it left the factory, except better fit and finish because it wasn't mass produced. I mean, this was built by hand, basically.
This is so special to be so close to this car. I mean, so many people watched it at the Mecum Auctions and followed this car online. It's really neat to be here so close to this one. Let's look at the VIN. Let me come around here, Gene, see the VIN. BS, the B stands for Barracuda. The S is special. The next one, the numbers there, Gene, is it 227? Yeah, it's 27. 27 is the body type convertible, so you know it is a real convertible. You go next, R is your engine code, and R is for Hemi. And is that R0 after that? Yep, that's a 0, and that's the year, 70. So everything according to the VIN adds up that this thing is the real deal. We got someone crashing our episode.
How the hell you been?
Look up, buddy. How's it going? Good to see you, man. Happy New Year. You remember Gene, right?
Yeah.
It's Mike.
Man? Gosh, dog it. How you guys doing? How's everybody doing?
Everyone's great, man. We're just loving this thing. I just broke down the VIN.
Yeah.
It's the real deal. It's the real deal.
Yeah.
It's a real Cuda. Can we start it up?
Oh, yeah. Give it a couple of pumps.
You have it out. Who wants to do it? When do you guys do it?
Fire it up, Mikey.
It's a $2.1 million Cuda. I'm not gonna. I don't want anything to go wrong.
It's a car.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, it sounds great.
Runs great,
That
man.
sounds great.
I haven't had it out on the road yet because it's got such a big price tag on it.
Yeah,
know,
you want to be
that's
careful with it.
the
Yeah.
part. Yeah. But no, and this is the way it fires up all the time. I let it set for a couple of days.
Yeah.
A couple of pumps, hit the key, boom, right.
It went right away. Right away.
That's why I thought, heck yeah. But no, it's cool. And you know what's funny is Brian and I were looking for the switch to put the top up, you know. We're looking and looking and looking. I'm looking down in here and I said, well, there's cylinders down in there. You know, it's got to be a power top. No, it's not. It's not a power top.
That's all right.
But that's the way the car was built, you know. And I thought, heck yeah, but beautiful car.
It's gorgeous. It's stunning. We just finished breaking down this one. I'm glad you're here because can we break down the Superbird?
Yeah.
All right, we want to. We got Mike mic'd now, so ready to go, and we want to do the Plymouth Superbird. But can we drop it down so we can really get into this thing?
Yeah.
All right. How many Superbirds, by the way, do you guys have now?
Just two right now.
Actually, two.
Yeah, just two right now. The white one's not here at the moment. It'll be here. It'll be back this weekend. We added some stuff done to it.
Okay.
So it'll be back, but we're currently just the two. But we've sold quite a few of them.
That's
So-
good, and that's by everything you see here is for sale, right?
Yeah, everything's for sale.
Including the
Correct.
the Gull Wing that we did a full episode on, the $3 million Gull Wing. That thing just sitting there. That should be in a museum.
Well, and this one too. And like I say, with this one, this is the one John wanted for his collection. But for the right money, everything's for sale.
Exactly. Well, we love it here, and this is your latest one. You got this down at Mecum in Florida, 1970 Plymouth Superbird. What jumped out to you guys? Why did you grab this one?
Just the color is one
I
of the
think
things.
the color was the biggest thing. Yeah,
the
just like he
color?
says. This is, believe it or not, I believe this is the same color paint that's on that Demon down there. Blue Fire Metallic.
Oh, it pops.
Yes.
It just jumps out.
Yes, it does. It wants to grab you, you know, but it is so clean. This is a very clean car. The white one we have that's out right now is very clean. And this one, well, with this one and the white one and then the green Daytona, all three of them puppies lined up, it's going to look
incredible.
good. Yeah.
About 2,000 of these, or just under 2,000 of these were made in 1972 per dealership is what
I
what
believe,
they say.
yeah, that's what it was. And what they were doing, because they couldn't sell these cars, check this out. They couldn't sell it because of the nose on
Yeah.
the car. So what they were doing is they were putting GTX front ends on them, repainting them, and then they could sell the car. They were selling the cars with the wings
Yeah.
and GTX front ends on them.
Isn't that wild? In 1970, people thought this was no one wanted this. No one
Nobody
wanted this
would buy the car
Yeah.
because of that.
In the front end, this is metal, right?
Aluminum.
Aluminum, and then fiberglass lights.
Those are actually steel, believe it or not.
Okay.
But John's brother-in-law
Yeah.
used to have one of these back in the day, and he went to park it in his garage, and it wouldn't fit because they're 19.
so long.
They're 19 and a half feet long.
Is it really?
So he had to have his garage extended 3 feet in order to fit his car in there.
Yeah, I think people when they bought them in 1970 didn't realize how long they were,
Yeah.
and then they get them home and realize.
But that's what makes them so collectible, because so many of these were gone.
Yeah.
So then they made reproduction ones of them.
Okay.
You know, out of fiberglass or whatever. But the aluminum ones are the
So
original.
this is the real deal.
Yeah,
This is
it's
the
a
real
real deal. Yeah. Yeah.
And there are a lot of clones out there. And we did an episode
Oh,
on one
yeah,
with
you
a
bet.
clone, and looking at pictures, I didn't know it was it's an amazing car. Mike's had a clone, but I didn't realize it was a clone until we got there, and the owner told me it was a clone because you can't tell. Some of these clones are so good.
If
They
you-
reproduce
if you
all this
don't
stuff,
hear-
yeah.
If you don't hear the echo, it's not. And another thing about a lot of the clones, the headlights don't work.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just dummies. And what they're doing,
They're running headlights underneath.
running
Yep.
headlights right up underneath here.
No kidding,
And they
really?
they give you this little thing, little
Yeah.
piece of paper with the car that says, "Do not recommend driving at night." I'm like, really?
Come around back here with the wing. This is so neat. And it's adjustable too right here. So we needed to tweak things right here. We can tweak the
Tweak how much downforce you want. Now, where the wing is set at right now, that's pretty much where they were set at when they were out running them around the track
Yeah.
on the Daytonas. At 200 miles an hour, it creates 2,000 pounds of downforce on the car. I mean, it just pushes it down to the ground. You know, it's crazy. And if you look at the wing, it's not that wide. You'd think you'd have to have something
Yeah.
wider, you know?
And then the trunk though opens up with no issue without hitting the wing. right?
Clearance all the way.
Clearance all the way?
Yeah.
Can we see under the hood in this thing?
Yeah, yeah. To me, that's always the best part of the
Inside
cars.
is so really cool with the Roadrunner here on the horn.
Oh, yeah. Is that cool?
That is so neat. You go back to 1970s, Roadrunner was,
Hey,
one of the coolest cartoons.
Yeah, and really. And there's a story, I think if you look up the story, when they were making this horn, trying to get this sound, what they went through to do it.
Because it sounds the beep beep
Yeah.
sounds just like it.
Yeah. Check that out.
Wow.
446 pack, 3 deuces on there.
And then there's the
There's your horn.
Official
And
Roadrunner
all
horn.
your Roadrunner horns, every one of them are this color.
Is that purplish?
That's a purple,
color.
yeah. And they're all this color. If you open up a hood on a Roadrunner and the horn's black, it's been replaced with the wrong horn. Or somebody took a pink one or a purple one and spray painted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fender tag down here.
Yeah, that's what represents everything.
Yep. We're looking for, I know it's hard to see, but that right there, that V88. Can you see it right there? Right there. That means if you come around back here, the stripe that you normally have on your Roadrunner up here is deleted. So if you look at the back of a 70 Roadrunner, there's that stripe on there.
Yep.
That V, that 88 means it's delete. So that's kind of,
Deleted, yeah.
you want to see this. So certain ways you can tell if someone pulls up telling you it's a Superbird, to find it's a clone, you go to that fender tag, you can pick up on so many things.
Well, it's like if you take the last 6 of the VIN, believe it or not, the last 6 of your VIN, if you open up the deck lid, they're in here right next to your rubber.
Okay.
Same
Can we
thing.
open this up?
Same thing over here, yeah. And not only are they there, but they're on your radiator support too.
Okay.
Now the radiator support, it's unboltable. You can throw that in the garbage can. But the heck of it is, it has the last 6 of the VIN on there.
And the radiator too, by the way, 26 inches, and you're gonna see that 26 on the fender tag. That's how you can know too, it's a Superbird.
Anyhow, so, grab my glasses.
Yeah, which is it's crazy, the clearance is perfect. Is this so when you buy a car at Mecum, you get the,
Yeah.
I bought a car at auction at Mecum and all I got was his keychain.
This is keychain.
It was his keychain, that's cool. We love Mecum.
Okay. They've already done it.
Yeah.
See right here?
Uh-huh.
Where they were scraping off? That's
Yeah.
so they could get to the numbers. You can see faintly some of the numbers in there. That's where this car was checked out by Dave Wise.
Okay.
And this is what he does because we had to, believe it or not, we had to undo the stripping on the Daytona to do it. Well, even on the, now check this out.
So this is only sealed here. You guys are then breaking
Yeah,
the
we're
seal
gonna
and scraping the paint off?
Yeah, what we're
Okay.
gonna do is we'll re-glue it down
Yeah.
so that way it's there. But what's good about it, it tells us this car's never had this quarter panel replaced.
All right.
Because if so, they wouldn't be there.
Uh-huh.
And up underneath the deck lid, you're
Yeah.
in the back there, up underneath here,
Uh-huh.
there's another set of numbers. Now those numbers don't match the VIN, but what they do jive with is the torque plates that your leaf springs bolt to in the front.
Mm-hmm.
There's a series of numbers on there. It'll be like a 4832. This would be like a 4836, and the other side will be a 4388. You know, but they all jive in that, and that tells you none of the flooring, because if you replace the flooring in the car, the torque boxes go away. And
These
you
are
got to
ways
put
that
new
you, as
ones
a car
on.
wrecker,
Yeah.
you guys are looking at this stuff before you buy it too. Someone's going to say this is all original,
Authenticated.
this is a real deal. You're going to look at the DNA of the car to make sure everything
And
matches.
up front on the right up there, there's another set of numbers up there, but there's nothing on the left. And all the your Plymouth cars back in the 60s or late 60s and 70s, they're all made like that. Yeah.
You notice there's 2 jacks in here, right? A jack for the front for the nose, correct? And then a jack for the rear, 2 separate jacks. If you get front flat, you just have to use a separate jack.
Well, yeah, you notice you got a scissor jack right over there.
Uh-huh.
You got the arm and everything. And then you got the bumper jack. The last jack I would ever use on this car would be that bumper jack.
Why is that?
They were very unsafe.
Okay.
Yeah, what was happening if you didn't have it hooked right?
Yep.
Now, normally, that style bumper jack, see the big lip on here?
Yeah.
Well, that would hook down here around the bumper.
Uh-huh.
You feel the little square cutout right down here where my finger is? Rub your hand across there.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It would hook right in there.
Okay.
You would jack it up. You would almost be to the top of that stem before
you get the wheels off
you
the
got the
ground.
tire off the ground. Yeah.
They're not too safe.
Well, and then
Yeah.
what happens if you didn't block your wheels, and I don't see no tire blocks in here, if you didn't block your wheels, sometimes that car would roll forward just enough, that jack come popping out of there. And with all that force of the pressure of the car, it'll kill you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so if I'm going to use a jack on this car, it's going to be that one right there.
Well, this
That
is,
goes directly right underneath the axle, and a few turns, you're in the air. You know, you're not.
right?
This has got to relieve all the suspension, everything else. The back of the car would be up this high before you could get around to taking the tire off.
It just seems very unsafe. It was 1970.
Yeah,
Things are
it's
different.
nuts.
Well, it'd be a great vinyl top too. This is this is really cool.
Good
We've
vinyl top, headliner. What else is? Now, we had one of these before at the very beginning, and it was a white one.
Yeah.
But the thing was, it was a bent seat car. The automatic was on the column. This is the only one we've had where it had the bucket seats and the automatic on the floor.
Okay.
The last one of these we had bucket seats, but it was still a column
okay,
shift.
got it, yeah.
Yeah, so they did so many different things with these cars. It was very little of what they did, but it was very noticeable. And to me, this is the way they all should have been, you know, I think. If it's an automatic car, it should have been on the floor,
Yeah.
you know. But they saved that more for the Chargers and what have you.
This is really cool to break this thing down. Thank you guys so much, man.
Oh, yeah, man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Mike,
anytime.
Brian, thank you so much for showing this as well. What do you guys think? Also, too, as you're watching, it's so funny. We do these episodes, and people are always picking up on everything in the background. Like, oh, look at that, look at that. What you see something you want an episode on? Let us know. We'll come back and do an episode on something you guys want. Also, too, many of these cars you see here, we've done the $1 Million Daytona over there. We've done an episode on that. So we've done a lot of episodes here at Nevada Classics.
And see, all those cars back there, everyone, they're all hot rods. Every one of those things. Now, this Mustang we got sitting over here, that'll surprise the hell out of you.
We got to come back for that Mustang. That's the Resto mod, right?
You got to hear it before you leave, though.
All right.
Yeah, you got to hear
He's
it
the
before
boss.
you leave.
He's the
You're gonna
godfather.
You're going to hear this car, and you're going to go, oh, my God. But the best part of it is it's got 4-link rear suspension, it's dual adjustable coilovers,
It's
all
got a
4
great
corners.
stance, too, by the way, which is sitting here.
Yeah,
And then,
it-
too, also, this Mustang over here, the color on it,
Correct. 1 year only, 1966.
Ember Glow.
Ember Glow
Yeah.
metallic.
We shot this episode with you, pointed it out. A week later, we found another one here in town.
That's what you're saying. You found a fastback.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Oh, you want to start it up, Mike?
Yeah, you got to check this out.
It grabs you.
We got the dyno sheets on it at 505.
Oh, yeah? It's like a whip.
It's just, and hey, it's just as responsive out on the road as it is right here. Yeah. I mean, there's this,
That's wicked.
we had it out and I gave it a third throttle and it just pitched sideways, man. I went, oh, yeah, it's crazy, but it's a mean little beast.
That's a cool interior.
It's got
too.
a 351 punched out to a 363, all aluminum heads, nice cam. It's got the Holley Hyper fuel injection on it. And right now it's on auto tune, so it's still tuning in. And it's just, man, I mean, it's just nasty.
65, right?
Yeah, it's a fun car to drive though.
Yeah, it looks that way. I love the color, too.
It's got all tubular A-arms on it. It's got a non-power rack and pinion steering, and it steers great.
Yeah.
It really does. It's the car to have.
The candy lane of cars inside this place.
Yeah, I'm telling you. And I thank you guys, man, very much.
Thank you, man. This is always a treat.
Yeah.
This is always a treat.
Have you checked
We're
out
gonna
our
keep
little
going. We keep going.
Have-
We're gonna say goodbye. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. If you want your car, shop, or collection featured on the show, then shoot us an email at carshopsandcollections@gmail.com. That's carshopsandcollections@gmail.com. And thanks for watching, and be sure and subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes of Cars, Shops, and Collections.